We're here to announce an exciting new partnership between Harrow College and Lee McQueen, who is now going to become, as and from today, the Business Enterprise Ambassador for Harrow College. And we're delighted to have one of our students, Misla, here to ask us all some questions about this project. Misla.
Tony, how does the role of Business Enterprise Ambassador fit into your vision for the college?
Well, I think probably the best thing to do would be go back to actually when Lee had his first encounter with the college, so to speak. We were fortunate enough for Lee to come along to our Student Awards ceremony last summer as our guest of honour and motivational speaker, etc., etc. And Lee and I had a good old chat before the event actually took place. And what was really refreshing was that we had an awful lot of common ground between us in terms of our views on sort of business ethos, how the way the world is working at the moment, how young people need to become more engaged with the world of work and the world of business. And I think it was from that point onwards things started to germinate. Lee came and visited us again. We had a further conversation about a variety of things. Some work has been done beyond that. And I think what we've really got to now is this new role for the college and this new partnership. Because in terms of what our students actually need to compete in the modern world with all the challenges that brings, is a really good understanding from somebody who's been there at the cutting edge, who's taken the risks, who's set up businesses, who understands what works and what doesn't. They need to learn from somebody who they can actually identify with, who they can believe in. And it kind of helps as well that Lee's got a pretty decently high public profile thanks to his apprentice success, which does resonate extremely well with our students. And I think what we're really happy is that we can give them that opportunity through this project with Lee to actually, give them, I think, probably that really sharp insight into the world of business and enterprise that they possibly will add value to what they're studying in the college through their main programs and give them, as I said, that competitive edge when they go out in front of a prospective employer or want to do something on their own that they possibly wouldn't have if they weren't here at Harrow College with us.
And Lee, why do you want to become our college's Business Enterprise Ambassador?
Well, firstly, I'm honoured to be the Enterprise Ambassador. As Tony said, my background is very similar to a lot of the students that will actually come to Harrow College. I was born in Northwick Park Hospital down the road. I lived in Middlesex all of my life up until 18, 19, and was schooled in the borough as well. And my background is very similar, as I say. Not educated to a fantastic standard myself, having to come into further education and really try and work hard to, I suppose, to achieve and to make the successes that I have. I've got a lot of experience in hospitality, which is one of the areas that we've been working with, and in IT as well, and also within recruitment, which is where I made my career effectively. And as Tony said before, along with the apprentice, I can offer a lot of different students, if you like, a platform. A lot of the people that I speak to, Misla, now talk to me about, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't know what avenue to actually go down. For me, for somebody who's been there in that certain situation myself and actually chosen the avenue or the career path, I want to be able to give a platform to people at Harrow College, the students at Harrow College, that kind of that ability to say, you know what, I can go and do this, I can go and achieve. And if they can see from me that I've achieved with my background, it's very similar to them, then hopefully they can go on and use it as a stepping stone or a platform to go and achieve themselves.
So Pat, what sort of things will the students be doing with Lee?
Well, Misla, I mean, we've got, as Leah said, we've got a range of students that he's going to be working with over the coming year. And we have young learners, just 16, coming to us, who, have come out of education and are re-engaging with it by coming on to, one of our programs. So it's really important for us to really try to give them the best start that they could have. And so Lee's going to be working with them as a mentor to kind of really see them through, this year, through a social enterprise project, working with the staff. Other students who are slightly older in areas such as IT, media, and Lee mentioned hospitality as well, business, and obviously for us beauty. And the really nice thing about that is that it's not just going to be young men he's going to be working with, but it's also going to be our young female students as well, who really ought to have the kind of the same opportunities. and are still finding their way, in terms of what they want to do, as Lee has mentioned it before as well. So it's really important for us to make sure that we try to engage with a broad range of our students. And I suppose for us, the other area, and Lee mentioned this as well, and this is to do with real kind of business enterprise, thinking about being, your own boss, as it were. And we have a lot of students in business and also in creative industries. And, it's very likely that what they will be is self-employed, whether that's after they leave here at the college or whether that's after they've been to university. And so we want to also be able to give them some practical advice and taking them forward. So Lee's going to kind of lead that for us as well. So it's a range of things that we've got for our learners.
I think it's important, just to interact with you there, Pat, I think it's important on the mentoring side, to be able to give students that platform. As I said before, I work a lot of 16 to 19-year-olds and above, and even below in terms of age groups. And so many people I say, I don't really know what I want to do. And this is why it's fantastic to be working alongside Harrow College in this, I suppose, project, if you like, in this initiative, to be able to bring that kind of platform, that learning, if you like, to the top level. You don't have to be top of your class to be able to have that platform. You can still go and be able to achieve. I think it's really, really important. It's something that hopefully you can see that I'm passionate about. So hopefully we'll have that injection into this project that we're running with.
I think the thing is as well, Ms. what maybe people don't recognise is college students, further education students, possibly have the opportunity of having a greater impact on the economy quicker than students in other educational settings. And we've got students who next July 2011, will be able to go out into the workplace and potentially set up their own businesses or go and work for somebody. And I think to pick up on a point that Lee was making around self-employment, I think it's something that's quite often misunderstood by younger learners and younger people, because they look at traditional models like shops and service industries. And in fact, what this is about is, yes, that's perfectly acceptable and that's perfectly good if that's what they want to do, but it's about other opportunities within the more creative industries, within non-traditional industries, which I think our students very much are interested in and engage with, actually socially as well as through their programs of study, that they can go out and actually earn a very good living out of that. Now, I was at a conference recently where a young man stood up and talked about his own experiences, and in fairness about the lack of support he got from his mother, particularly during that, who said, this is not going to work, you'll never earn any money out of this, you'd be better off doing this, you'd be better off doing that. Now, that young man has been particularly successful, so much so that 18 months down the line, he now employs his own mother, which I think is a really fantastic testament to what can be achieved if people get the right advice, the right support and the right guidance. And I think Lee is so ideally placed and so ideally suited for our learners that I think we will be giving them something very, very different from a college experience that will be unique to Harrow College students.
I think it's just to pick up on a couple of points there as well. I think it's really important to be able to relate to the students as well, which obviously my background allows me to do, but also to be able to give them that kind of comfort around business, like what Pat was saying before. And what I mean by that is there's students that are 16, 17 years old that come out of school and don't know the first thing about business enterprise or business itself. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. What I'm saying is a lot of the art students, for example, art and media students, will probably go into setting up their own businesses. Exactly. And if we expect them to do that, or if they want to go and do that, we need to be able to give them something back in order for them to be able to go and achieve in whatever sector they choose. And that's why it's a fantastic project.
I think the final point is that, for us, at Harrow College, it's not just about the students. They're absolutely central to what this is all about. But it's also about, the staff being part of what Lee is doing. So they're not actually on the sidelines watching what's going on. They're very much part of this whole project. And so, through that, we'll also be developing themselves. And because we want to sustain this project. We want it to go on beyond this, this year. So that, Harrow College gets known for being a vocational college, but, with real insight into, the world of work and how we want to take things forward.
Thank you, Tony, Lee and Pat, for coming here today and letting us know about this exciting new project. We look forward to hear more about this.